Have you ever wondered about the man who dared to challenge the religious norms of ancient Egypt, Pharaoh Akhenaten? Born as Amenhotep IV, his early life was typical of royalty. He was groomed for kingship, educated in the arts of warfare, politics, and of course, religion. The pantheon of ancient Egyptian gods held a central role in society, dictating the rhythm of life, death, and the afterlife. When he ascended to the throne, Akhenaten inherited this spiritual legacy. He ruled under the traditional religious customs, paying tribute to the likes of Ra, Isis, and the most crucial of them all, the state god, Amun. His reign began as any other, steeped in the rituals and beliefs that had shaped the Nile Valley for centuries. But soon, Akhenaten would break from tradition, catapulting Egypt into an era of change. The stage was set for the reign of one of history's most enigmatic and fascinating pharaohs. Imagine a world where polytheism reigns supreme, and suddenly your ruler declares there is but one god. In the heart of ancient Egypt, this scenario unfolded in an extraordinary fashion. Pharaoh Akhenaten, once known as Amenhotep IV, embarked on a religious revolution that would shake the foundations of his civilization. He declared Aten, the sun disk, as the one true god, turning his back on a pantheon of deities that the Egyptians had worshipped for centuries. This was not a mere adjustment of belief, it was a seismic shift, a religious upheaval. Aten was not a new addition to the pantheon, but elevating him to the status of the sole deity was unprecedented. Akhenaten's devotion to Aten was so profound that he even changed his name, which meant, effective for Aten. But Akhenaten's religious revolution didn't stop at a change in worship. He uprooted the entire civilization, moving the capital from Thebes, the city of the god Amun, to a new location he named Akhetaten, meaning horizon of the Aten. This city, known today as Amarna, was built from scratch in honor of the new religion. Akhenaten's reign was a time of monumental change. Temples dedicated to Amun were shut down or repurposed, and the priesthoods of the old gods found themselves out of favor. The worship of Aten became the central focus of religious life, and Akhenaten himself was considered its high priest. Yet, for all its radicalism, this revolution was not without controversy. Many citizens, and especially the powerful priesthood, resisted the change. They held on to their old gods, their old ways, and their old beliefs. But for a time under Akhenaten's rule, the worship of Aten prevailed. It was a time of upheaval, a radical departure from the past, but what impact did this shift have on Egypt and its people? As we delve deeper into the enigma of Pharaoh Akhenaten, we'll uncover the enduring effects of his revolutionary reign. Not only did Akhenaten transform religion, but he also ushered in a new style of art, unlike anything seen before in Egypt. During his reign, Pharaoh Akhenaten championed an artistic revolution that would forever alter the landscape of Egyptian art, leaving behind the rigid and formalistic representation of figures that dominated the era. Akhenaten introduced a more realistic and naturalistic style. His art favored fluid lines and softer, rounded contours, bringing a sense of individuality and humanity to the previously stiff and idealized depictions of royals. The most striking change, however, was the depiction of Akhenaten himself. In stark contrast to the athletic and youthful figures of pharaohs past, Akhenaten was depicted with an elongated face, drooping belly, and slender limbs. His unconventional representation conveyed a sense of vulnerability and imperfection, a radical departure from the godlike image of the pharaohs. Akhenaten's family too became a focal point in his artistic narrative. The intimate portrayals of his wife Nefertiti and their children in tender, everyday scenes were groundbreaking. Such depictions humanized the royal family, bringing them closer to their subjects. But the aftermath of Akhenaten's death saw a return to the old ways. His successors, eager to restore the traditional pantheon and erase his legacy, reverted to the formalistic style. His city, Akhetaten, was abandoned and his monuments were defaced or repurposed. His name was even stricken from the king lists, in an attempt to wipe his memory from the annals of history. Despite these efforts, Akhenaten's legacy endured. The seeds of change he had sown in the realm of art were too deeply rooted to be entirely uprooted. His reign, though brief, had left an indelible mark. He had dared to challenge the status quo, and in doing so, pushed the boundaries of art and representation. Erased from history, yet not forgotten, Akhenaten's reign remains a fascinating chapter in ancient Egypt, a testament to the power of vision and the enduring impact of change.